It's almost like you get like kind of like a second life. You're like seeing
Exactly.
things for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a complete game changer. Probably, if I look back on my life, I don't know, 30 years from now, it'll probably be the single most important decision besides my faith that I made.
100%.
Yeah, it's just I could see the trajectory just change everything once I made that decision.
All right, guys, welcome back to The Alchemists with Evan Rundle. Today, I have somebody that I've been dying to talk to for like 3 years. He's a local developer, investor, entrepreneur. He hosts a meetup called Margarita Mingle. He hosts the On the Come Up podcast. He's done $17 million worth of real estate in the last 12 months. He's an all-around great guy. Chris Luna, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I can't be complaining with views like this. It's pretty good setup you got here. I like it. I like it. Thanks for having me
Thanks.
on.
Pleasure. Yeah, we basically like took over this common space and made it our podcast
Smart.
studio.
I would do the same thing.
Zero overhead.
Yeah.
And you were just sharing with me beforehand, you used to live right down the street.
You right there. I could see my unit.
That's
Right there,
awesome.
4110.
And what made you move out?
I think the vibe there was a little, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say demonic, but it's just kind of party central. And I just didn't want to be around that. I
Yeah.
remember sitting around the hot tub one day and thinking to myself, dude, the things the people were talking about there, I did not align with that anymore. So I made the decision to start looking to move. And I actually moved to Mission Valley for a few months, tested that out, but it was time to go. It was time to go. I knew I'd been in downtown for about 5 years. I was ready to pack my bags.
And where's home now?
Pacific Beach.
Okay.
Back to the beach where I buy real estate, which works perfectly for me.
And is that where you're from or?
No, I'm from Sacramento.
Okay.
So came down here, went to San Diego State, graduated, started a cell phone repair company. And then in my early 20s, I ended up at the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what brought you there?
Probably females, if I'm being, yeah, probably like, going out and partying and socializing. My business, the first business I ran was a cell phone repair store called iGeeks.
Mhm.
And that business revolved around people breaking their phones. And usually people break their phones when they're out at the bars. So I'd go around the bars and I'd notice broken phones all the time. And I'd give them my phone number or my Instagram. And I built that business grassroots, just running around the bars, partying and having fun, but also finding new business.
Love that. So serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, basically. I mean, when I was a kid, I was mowing lawns, selling See's candy, selling soda, buying the soda for $1, selling it for $1.50. I've always just like wanted to make money. It's always fascinated me.
Sees, don't come after him. He was young, all right?
It was young.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And I mean, I have so much I want to ask you, but I kind of want to follow this thread for a minute. So you've been an entrepreneur basically your whole life.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What was your
absolutely.
first one? Do you remember?
First business, I would say probably the lawnmower business.
Okay.
But we didn't actually land any customers.
Okay.
So our gross revenue was zero.
Okay. All right. So you started the business.
Like as a little kid, like very little. I remember the extent of it is we moved into my grandma's house, I think for a summer, and we were posting signs on people's doors and no one reached out to us. But that was like the first time I kind of went down the path of entrepreneurship. Me and my brother.
Love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just the two of you?
Yeah, we had other businesses. I mean, we bought cards and sold those. And
What
traded
kind of
those.
cards?
Pokemon, NBA basketball.
Let's go.
Yeah, mainly basketball.
Like Flair?
Yeah, top.
Top,
Shell,
yep.
Yep.
Same. It's totally the same thing.
Yeah.
Were you before or after the Pogs? Is that a little bit before your time?
No, I played Pogs.
Okay.
Yeah, but not that much. But yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so you still remember that because you're kind of on the tail end of millennial.
Yeah.
So you still remember the good old days before internet and like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember AOL.
Right.
Like it's like making all the weird noises.
That's right. That's right. Little CD comes in the mail.
Yeah, a little
Oh,
blurry, but I remember those days. Yeah.
awesome. Well, dude, I'm pumped to get into it. I know that, you've done a lot of work locally. I've been to several of your events. So let's kind of get into just the business side of things.
Okay.
And I know that like when I think of you, I think of ADUs. That's kind of like your bread and butter. Would you say that's your kind of main focus right now?
Yeah, we use ADU code to build multifamily development. So
Okay.
I think ADU is a big buzzword right now, and everybody is starting to realize what that is.
Sure.
But I'm trying to mature in my career and business path, and so I see myself as a multifamily developer.
Mm-hmm.
We just happen to use ADU code to build multifamily developments. No different than people building, this structure right here. This was a multifamily development. We go through the same process with the city. we don't have to go to the planning commission and sell them on the idea, because ADU is by right. So that's what we like about that business model,
Mm.
is you can be a developer without having to jump through all these hoops, which is pretty cool, because what we're really doing is democratizing development for the little guy. The little guy can now go and build real estate and make money and have, provide jobs for others, and also make a good living doing it.
Well said.
Yeah.
So walk me through that. I'm new to the space.
Okay.
I have some money. I'm looking to invest. I'm looking to build. Give me like a day in the life.
Yeah. First thing you want to do is just seek knowledge and definitely know what a good deal looks like.
Hmm.
At Backyard Community, we talk about deal, debt, equity in that order. So you got to know what a good deal looks like. And there's a number of things you got to know: FAR, size of the lot, what you can build there, the zoning, right? That's the deal itself. That's the most important thing. When you have a good deal, the lenders are lining up to write you a check for 70, 80, 85% of the purchase price.
Wow.
And then you'll raise the equity based on the debt you get. So that's just high level how I see things, how I see developments. As far as day in the life, oh man, I'm always bouncing around. I mean, one minute I'll be on a walk. Like before this, I was on a walk with my 3 other partners in an LLC on a deal we own in PB together. And we're chatting about architectural plans, how the remodels are going, how the leases are looking. Then I'll bounce over here. I'll try and get more known by being on podcasts so that I can raise more equity and become an authority in the space. Later on tonight, I'll go to the gym. So my schedule's pretty relaxed, but I mean, I've been doing business and development, I don't know, since 2016. So,
Yeah.
I kind of set my own schedule now.
Love that. Yeah. Freedom.
Yeah.
And buying back your time, but then using that time not just to, hang out at the beach, but to
Oh, yeah.
reinvest in yourself and new skill sets and, like you said, podcasts and content. I think that's awesome, man.
Thank
Because
you.
it's kind of like climbing this ladder. It's 2 steps up, 1 down, 2
For
steps
sure.
up, 1
For
down.
sure. Sometimes I'm head down and I'm just focused, get this deal closed, do what I have to do. Other times I'm like, okay, I could work, but then go lay at the beach for half an hour, reset,
Yeah.
go on a walk. There's something about that ocean, that lately it's been nice to be back at the beach.
And you just moved to the
I
beach.
just moved to the
Tell me
beach.
about that.
It's good. So I was downtown 5 years. I enjoyed it. I was at Little Italy, East Village again, and I don't know. Something was calling me back to the beach. I just
Mm.
felt like it was time. Um, I don't drink alcohol now, but back in the day, I did drink a lot of alcohol, going
Mhm.
out to the bars, and so I wanted to have a new lens on it. So when I got back to the beach this time, it was cool because I don't drink alcohol, and I was able to just enjoy myself and not feel the peer pressure of the friends and the bars and the late nights out. So much clear-minded person going into this time living at the beach, and I absolutely love it.
So different lens.
Different
So you're
lens,
showing up as a different person,
for
looking
sure.
through a new pair of
Yeah.
glasses, and you're able to experience it in a new way.
Yep.
I totally know what you're talking about. It's the same thing. So I'm from Miami,
Okay.
and all of my old memories in Miami was just party, party,
Yeah.
party, club space.
11.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. It's not a good look,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it took me a while, but now when I go back there, I pretend I'm a tourist. I also don't drink.
Yeah.
And so I get to go to all these new places or old places, but make these new memories. And it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
almost like you get like kind of like a second life. You're like seeing
Exactly.
things for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a complete game changer. Probably, if I look back on my life, I don't know, 30 years from now, it'll probably be the single most important decision besides my faith that I made.
100%.
Yeah, it's just I can see the trajectory just change everything once I made that decision.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to diving into that a little bit and
Okay.
diving into your faith a little
Cool.
bit. I do want to kind of get a little more into best
For sure.
practices
Let's
and,
do it.
kind of help us educate, some people on these ADUs. So I know there was a vote recently. Talk to me about what the vote was for and how that could or could not potentially impact what you do.
Yeah, so the city of San Diego, the planning department, and I guess, why am I blanking on this? What are they called? They are the city staff. The name will come to me. Essentially, the people making the rules and getting feedback. The council members are getting
Yeah.
feedback from their certain jurisdictions and where they manage. And so there was a lot of pushback for the bonus ADU program.
Sure.
I'll rewind and tell people the bonus ADU program essentially allows me, to build many ADUs. When you think of a 1,200 square foot ADU, that's what California state law allows anywhere in California. But what San Diego did is they said, hey, as long as you hit this certain FAR and you stay below it, you can build unlimited ADUs.
Really?
Yeah, so you can build 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now they're not like 10 little individual structures, although some people were doing it, and those are the projects that the communities don't like. You could put the 10 ADUs together almost like building blocks.
Interesting.
So it just becomes what I was saying earlier, multifamily development.
Okay.
So those projects people tend to like. Like you go around North Park and you'll see a multifamily structure and it's 7 units. We could do the same thing. Like that was built in the 50s. We just build 7 or 8 units now, but they're ADUs. Now, the projects people don't like would be the very large lots, and people are maxing out those floor area ratios and building these like kind of the detached ADUs over. Those are the ones you see in the newspaper on the cul-de-sac, on the hill, because they're using the hillside
Got it.
for the equation, which
Sure.
allows them to build a bunch.
Got it.
So I went there. Many spoke up for the program. There were a lot of NIMBYs, as they're called, not in my backyards, against the program. And what they actually decided to vote on was that we'll table. It was a win. We'll table this discussion for 60 or 90 days, and we'll come back and revisit it, which I think is a win. You can't just shut off a program that was doing a lot of good for the community. The city's making money. Jobs are being created, architects, contractors, construction's booming in San Diego. So I think it was a wise decision, but they came to a middle ground where it's like, hey, we hear what the public is saying, and I agree with some of the stuff they're saying. Let's revisit this and then decide what we're going to do.
You know, it's so interesting you say that. Like, I'm from Florida, and so I was kind of anti-regulation, you know, like just go crazy. If you look at Miami, it's like just insane. And then moving to LA, it's like the most regulation for construction almost anywhere. And then I think San Diego is interesting because it's kind of like a sweet spot. Kind of like, I think it's more pro than other places, but there's still a good amount. And exactly what you just described is exactly what happened with Airbnb. So I don't know if you know this. Airbnb was actually illegal for like 48 hours here. This was back in like maybe 2017.
Oh, wow.
And it was voted to literally no Airbnb in the whole city. 48 hours later, boxes of petitions showed up on the mayor's wherever. I mean, this is folklore at this point. And they overturned it. And then it was complete free-for-all for a while again, which caused a lot of bad actors, similar to what you were describing, and people are doing crazy stuff. And then they passed like kind of a middle-of-the-road regulation, which I think is great because it limits the competition set. It increases the barriers to entry. It makes it fair for everybody. It protects neighborhoods. It protects other things, but it still allows for us to make money. And like you said, democratizing it and allowing people to kind of get into a space that they otherwise couldn't.
Exactly.
So I couldn't agree with you more, man. And so what do you think the outcome of that is going to be, and how will that affect what you do?
I think the outcome, call it 60 days, is no more building on hillsides. Essentially, when people have like this small little pad at the top of a hillside and they're using all the slope, that's going to go away. They're just going to use the allowable flatland at the top for the calculation, meaning people won't be able to go crazy anymore.
Got it.
That's important. I like that. And for fire, you know, there's been a lot of fires in LA recently, and so you got to be careful with the hillsides. I think that some of the RS 16, 17, and I think it's 15 zones will stay about the same. Multifamily won't be touched at all. That zoning will be good. They did not even bring it up at all. It's mainly these RS 17, which is like 80% of the lots in San Diego that they're eyeing. The land use code lady, she had mentioned something about potentially 10,000 square foot lots and up being, you know, you can't use this program. So I think all in all, what's going to happen is they're going to eliminate the bad actor type deals where people are just pushing it too far on the deals. And the program will stay around. Like I said, the city's printing cash.
Right.
They're not going to get rid of this.
Like you said, it's good for taxes. It's good for jobs. It's good for infrastructure. It brings more available housing, and those tenants also spend more money in the communities. Very similar. So it's very similar to what we're going through and what we do.
Yeah, exactly. I just love that it's like you said, keyword there, democratizing it. Like now the little guy can play this game and he doesn't have to go and build, you know, a 30-story structure. He can just get in the game and build a little ADU and start to build generational wealth for him and his family. And that's what I really like about all this.
Right on.
Because I still think I'm the little guy. You know, I still feel like the little guy. And I want to be the little guy. And I want to motivate others to level up.
Dude, I can't wait to dive into the mindset stuff. I almost want to skip all this because like, all the stuff you're saying is great. But so, all right, a couple quick ones and then we'll move on to the fun stuff. Unicorn deal.
Unicorn means like once in a lifetime.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like if the same question was asked to me, I have a whole checklist.
Okay.
Like what's the ideal Airbnb to buy, right?
Okay, I got you.
Dozens of items that I could say would make it the ideal one.
Got it.
In your world with ADUs, give me the unicorn.
Okay. First I'll start with, so like I call this like my deal box. So,
Okay.
But we'll get even more specific.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Give me the deal box and then let's zoom
I
in.
like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give. Okay. So 92109. We'll just start there. But I'm not gonna go oceanfront because you're just not gonna find a lot of land there. So oceanfront would be cool, but you're just not gonna find a lot of
Yeah.
land. So it just doesn't exist. But unicorn deal, 12,502 square feet.
Okay. Very specific.
You know what I mean?
Love it. Love it.
Because in PB, all the lots are 6,251.
Okay.
So if I need two of those lots side by side, that is
Okay.
12,502. I want it to be an RM25 zone property
Okay.
because that gives me an FAR of, I forget what it is, like 1.35, or maybe it's like 2 or something, 2 point something. It's probably 1.35. There is just a little house on the property, just one little dinky house, not a big house. If I'm buying a big house, the price per square foot is going to be
Right.
2 million, 3 million. I want just small little
Tiny house.
Yeah, so RM25. Ideally, the deal could be seller financed maybe for 12 months, or even better, comes with approved plans to build, I don't know, 30 units.
Oh man, you're going real granular.
Because it's
I
happened
love
to me.
it.
On my most recent
Really?
deal, like it came with plans. All I had to pay was school fees, water fees, and essentially I got stamped plans. So instead of spending 2 years to get plans like the previous owner did,
Yeah.
I just walked right in. I get my shovel, and I start breaking things.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And what about the lending component? So stack that on top.
Okay, construction loan on this type of deal, you're really not going to get great terms on this. This is just what it is. Like I'll pay like 10.5%. The really what you want to do in that construction loan is get a long length of time.
Okay.
So you don't have to fire sale something after 12 months or 13 months if it's not built yet. So getting a nice 24-month loan is nice and safe.
Okay.
Getting a 12-month loan on a project that's going to take 10 to 12 months, it's a little risky because you have the lease up period. So just getting a long 24-month loan, 10.5% on that construction loan, and then a loan to cost of, call it 85%.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like the thought about
half a point.
half a point.
Half a point.
Okay. And why you said like with O2, why is that? What is that barrier that it's overcoming?
What was the O2?
On the square footage. You ended it with a 2.
Oh, 6,251. That's the exact lot sizes in PB.
Okay.
So you multiply that by 2, you get a double wide lot. So it's 12,502.
Okay.
That's the exact square.
All right. So any brokers out there, anyone selling, that's what we need. Bring us a deal. Bring us the unicorn.
Someone brought me one yesterday.
Okay.
I kid you not. That's why it's top of mind. It's 12,502. It's in my deal box. I would totally buy this thing. Only problem, price. Guy wants a lot. He wants an arm and a leg, and I won't give him my arm or my leg.
Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows it's like the unicorn.
Yeah.
He might be sitting on it.
I've talked to the guy before, but a broker brought me this one yesterday. So we'll see what happens.
And the reason you want the small house, and I'm assuming you want it away from the water, is because then you're using the land and all your FAR and all the density to build closer to the water and build up. Is that the reason you want it?
Anywhere by the water, like east of Ingram for me, I'm sorry, west of Ingram works for me.
Okay.
But the house is, I want a small house because it's likely going to tear. You could leave the house and build behind it, but it looks kind of weird.
Okay.
So I'd rather just scrape the house.
I see.
And build a big multifamily structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in that multifamily, can one of them be a primary with a primary address?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you could live there.
So we could do maybe an Airbnb as the main house and then ADUs with midterm rentals as the rest of the property.
Yep.
Okay.
I do. That's why I like PB, because I dabble with the Airbnb game. A lot of my tenants are actually Airbnb arbitrage host.
Okay.
And so they rent from me, and I just prefer that. It's easier, and then they go and make their money. And
you
they're
don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we should talk about.
We should talk about
off
that.
camera. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple more quick ones for you.
Cool.
So
Good question, by the way. That was a good one. No one's ever asked me that.
The unicorn.
Unicorn.
Because I think of like, what would I want to learn?
Yeah.
You know?
I thought you were talking about like unicorn, like female, like wife. I'm like, well.
That's how much more time we got? I mean, that's another podcast. But speaking of podcasts, so you host On the Come Up.
Yep.
And you do a lot of content that I've seen.
Yep.
So talk to me about that. Like, what has doing content done for you, and what does that look like in your day to day?
It's made me more present.
Okay.
when we're filming, you know, my phone is gone. I threw it over there. It's gone, and I am locked in. There's nothing. There's no one that could. There'd have to be a plane coming to like towards me. Like there's nothing that could really stop the flow.
Love
And
that.
so it's taught me to become a better public speaker. How to really listen to people and how to be somewhat entertaining and not like monotone or boring. Like I've really changed my tonality just by practicing. Definitely become a better speaker, and it's always challenging just to become better. So the podcast, I think it's easier to be the guest. I just get to talk about myself and my knowledge. It's harder to be the host because you have to guide the conversation and tell this story.
Yeah.
So that's something I've learned. And just for me, the podcast, just staying consistent. When I stay consistent, that's when I see results. I start raising more money. I see more deal flow. It's a lot of work, but it's well worth it.
Yeah. Dude, I couldn't have said it better. Hyper present.
Yeah.
Can't be anywhere else.
Yep.
I even make an announcement to like my team and people are like, I am offline
Yeah.
for this chunk of time. Like figure it out. Whatever, just figure it out. And I also think it's interesting about the connection part that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Because you and I have been friends for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm getting some stuff nuggets from you today that, you know, we wouldn't otherwise talk about like at a meetup. I wouldn't be like, so tell me about faith, you know, like. So I think it's cool. I think it allows for connection and it allows for entrepreneurs really to also see how they can help each other, right? So like after this conversation, my wheels are going to be turning and I'm like, all right, so Chris is looking for this, looking for that. So I think it's cool. It's like it's a little hack.
Yeah, exactly. And you get to bring value to the third person of the room, which is our audience. They're listening on Spotify or YouTube or wherever it is. And you see a lot of stuff on social media. It could be flashy, it could be not flashy, whatever it is. But I think podcasts, you get to see a different side of people.
Yeah.
See what they're going through, the highs, the lows. It's not all easy. It's not all, was it rainbows and sunshine?
Yeah.
There's some tough things I go through as a real estate developer. But we can get into that later.
I think we're getting into it now, brother.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good pivot right into it. So, you know, the theme of the show is the Alchemists,
Okay.
like we talked about earlier, and there's some business stuff I'm sure you've gone through, which I'd love to get into. But I'm just curious on a personal level, man. I remember one post you did one day where it's like something about the underdog, and it resonated with me.
I remember that one, yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
Talk to me about what the impetus for that post was, and some more examples in your life of what being the underdog has been like.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what I said in the post, but off memory, I recall saying that I've always felt like the underdog. Where that came from, and I still feel like the underdog, and that's what drives me. And where that came from was actually being cut from my high school basketball team, like Michael Jordan. That's why I really resonate with him, was he was cut and became a beast. But yeah, so I've always felt like the underdog, always felt like I wanted to achieve something great. I always wanted to be the best in my field, whatever that is. I'm always like striving to become the best and then inspire others behind me who are learning the game, inspire them as well so they can actually surpass me. Almost like how Kobe Bryant would study every part of Michael Jordan so that he could become the best of all time. Like that's what it's about for me, and that's why I coach all these people. Like I'm doing my job. If the people on the come up, the young guns behind me who are getting in development, I mean, these cats are 21 years old. They're already getting in deals. At 21 years old, I was at El Pres or Beechwood, you know, like in PB running around. So I'm going on a little tangent here, but you said some other ways in which I was an underdog. Let me think here. Let's see. You know, not coming from money. A lot of the people who bought real estate deals when I was getting into the game, you know, no harm in them coming from money. Like that's awesome. Like their parents made some sacrifices, but a lot of the people came from like construction backgrounds. Their parents had money, high paying jobs. Like my mom worked at the DMV, which everyone hates. You know, people hate the DMV. And then my dad worked in like warehouses. So, you know, and I don't think, no, both of them didn't go to college.
Right.
And so they made sacrifices for me to put me through private Catholic school, like from kinder to 12th grade. I'm going to Catholic schools, like they're making sacrifices. I don't know how they're affording it. You know, they're making it happen though. It was expensive, very expensive. And yeah, I always felt like I wanted to make my parents proud considering how many sacrifices they made. They gave up on their goals and dreams because they had us when they were young. Right. And so they gave up on any careers or dreams they had. And I said, you know what, if they made all those sacrifices, like the least I can do is become a huge success for my family.
I love that, dude.
That's been my driving force.
Here. I mean, you know, we're both millennials, and I think that there is this almost like a bifurcation of our generation. Wow, that was too many big words. But where like some people, because I also had the same experience.
Yeah.
My dad grew up in basically poverty in England. His parents were in government housing,
Mhm.
only child, worked his whole way through school, got scholarships his whole life, blah, 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 moved to America as an immigrant with nothing, married my mom, blah, 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 right? And my mom, same deal. Her dad and mother didn't have a lot of money. Her mother grew up in the Great Depression.
Yeah.
So they both became lawyers in spite of their dreams, right? My
Mm.
dad was like an opera singer. My mom was a dancer.
Yeah.
They didn't have time for that. Let's become lawyers. And so my generation, my brother and I, we grew up with in the 80s and 90s, basically whatever you needed.
Yeah.
And for a while, that actually was a detriment to me because it did stunt my own, like, I guess, hard knocks. Like,
Yeah.
it was almost like being enabled in a way to not have to go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
But then by like going out on my own and blazing my own trail and coming to California and all these things, it grows you up quick.
Yeah.
And I find that if people don't make this kind of conscious choice to do their own thing, that they don't really ever kind of grow up.
Yeah.
And you're young. I mean, you're relatively young in the grand scheme of things. And I think that's really admirable that because you could have gone the other way. You
Hmm.
could have been entitled. You could have been like, oh, well, they work so hard. What is it like? Hard times create soft men create hard times. Whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
butchered it, but
But I know what you're talking about.
you
Yeah.
know what expression I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So good on you, man. And so that started early in your life.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, I think that was summer ball. Probably I was like a sophomore. I
Okay.
cut from the summer league.
Okay.
Not the main year, but the summer league, and I worked my butt off that summer. It taught me that, like, okay, if you put in the work and then you show up later for fall tryouts, and I made the team, then that taught me, like, okay, if you put in the work, you can make the team.
Okay.
So I applied that everywhere in life. If I put in the work, I could close the deal. If I put in the work, I'll get the girl. If I put in the work, I'll build the biz. Whatever
Yeah.
it is, just gotta put in the work and the reps.
And so what did that arc look like for you though? So you're coming out of this basketball rejection and everything. What age was that around?
Let's call it 16.
Okay. And so when did the partying kind of take
When
off?
did I start?
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much in high school. I think in high school I was trying to like find myself. I
Okay.
think I remember like starting to hang with like the cool kids.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Oh yeah.
Like it was looking for validation in like these other people. I
Yeah.
don't do that now, but I was back then. So I was hanging with the cool kids. But it's when I went to San Diego State. I joined a fraternity again, hanging with the cool kids type
Yeah.
thing, partying and whatnot. But when did like business start to take off? You would say, or
Well, I'm just getting more the arc of
okay,
the personal side because
yeah.
business I'm interested in, but I want to get into.
Yeah, the personal side, like when I kind of grew through that, it's hard to say. A lot of the growth has happened recently, like over the last 7 years or so. I started training for like half Ironmans and really focusing on me as a person. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have like a date on it. It's just kind of like something I've developed over time.
And do you remember having like kind of like a bottom or some kind of moment where it was like, hey, I have to change this?
Yeah. Like when I cut alcohol out, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that was. I had tried a few times, and went like 5 months, and then you know, sip a beer here turns into two, three, same mistakes. Um, but it wasn't until, I mean, I don't know. It's been like 18 months ago when I stopped drinking alcohol. When it was just like enough is enough.
Congrats,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
Well, that's great. I mean, that's definitely an example of alchemy.
yeah.
Give me another example of alchemy that you can think. It could be business or personal.
Got it. Well, what's the definition of alchemy exactly?
Basically, just turning
Turning point.
hardship or adversity into something good for yourself and others too. Because you've talked, what I find refreshing about when I talk to you is you always mention other people. You always bring it back to service.
Yeah.
A lot of people are still a lot about themselves. And
Mhm.
I love working with other entrepreneurs. It's not just about you.
Yeah.
Just like what you said with Kobe and Michael, you're doing it for you, but then also opening the door for other people. To
Yeah.
me, that's true alchemy. Because if
Yeah.
it's just about you, it's like, what's the point?
Exactly. But I appreciate that. So when I started the coaching community, teaching development, that was, I don't know, 20 months ago, maybe like right when I stopped drinking. And I was scared. I actually really feared the public speaking, talking on Zoom. What are people going to think of me? All the things the chatter I was playing in my own mind.
Mm.
I've grown through that because I've become better and a master at like my craft that I can just teach and flow.
Mm.
Now empowering others to run those calls, that is what gets me going. I'm like, wow, I've coached these students up of mine so well that they're now coaching. Like that's been the game changer for me recently. But yeah, I do come up from a place of service and helping others, and I don't have a mindset that's like there's plenty of deals to go around.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say maybe I don't know, 2016, 17, like back in the day when I really started first buying real estate, maybe I was more protective about my deals or quiet about them and
Mm-hmm.
feeling like scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's literally, I mean, look everywhere, God's green earth, there's real estate literally everywhere. I could buy
Yeah.
that land right there, could buy this, there's many options. So just having an abundant mindset and being okay with losing.
Mm.
That was hard for me for a while. I hate losing.
Okay.
I like winning.
Yeah.
And so in the past, maybe I could have been a little bit of a sore loser if I didn't get awarded a deal. Specifically, it was like if it was like one of my buddies or the competitors.
Okay.
Now I don't deal with that. I'm like, you won the deal. Congratulations. I literally just get another one up the street or
Plenty
something.
to go around.
Yeah,
But every now and then the chip on the shoulder helps, man.
it
I was
does.
talking to somebody about this on the last interview. It's like there's push and pull motivation, and I
Yeah.
think both are valid.
Yeah.
And I was listening to like Relentless. I think it was Tim
Love
Grover.
that book. One of
You
my
know, and it's like
favorites.
the dark side. Dude, it happened the other day. I was playing pickleball, I was getting my ass kicked,
Yeah.
and I literally like thought of that book and was like, all right, time to turn on the dark side, dude. And I fucking like
Start.
3 games in a row
Yeah.
win. So I think that's cool, man. But what's interesting is that you're aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is so important. A lot of people
Yeah.
I think are driven by these egoistic things or traumas or whatever and don't
Yeah.
even realize that's what's driving them.
Yep.
But you seem to have come out, you seem to have gone through these different arcs, and now you're aware, and now
Very
you're
hyper
pulling.
aware.
Dude, that's amazing, man.
And I think that getting rid of the alcohol is part of that
Yeah.
because, like, as you're growing up, you have all these emotions.
Mm.
I didn't meet my dad I didn't meet my dad until I was like 18, my biological dad, right? So you have so I grew up thinking like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, right? That's what I'm telling myself, and I don't know any better because I'm just a little child. And so you go through that and you're just stacking all these things. Oh, maybe if I drink alcohol, that will mask the pain and numb it out, right? But it's not until you actually remove the things that you're adding to your life and stripping yourself down to your most raw version, then you can see like, oh, okay, I'm actually okay. Like I can go to a football game or Super Bowl Sunday and be completely like okay with who I am, even if I'm not talking to anyone. I just like, oh, it's okay. Yeah, I'm just chilling right now. Like being okay with my own thoughts, being okay by myself. It's yeah, that's some deep work that really helped me grow.
That's a great clip right there,
Yeah,
dude. I couldn't have said it better myself, man.
yeah.
I think it's
Thank you.
so important. Have you ever heard of the 3 A's?
No.
So it's awareness,
Okay.
acceptance, and action. And they have to come in that order.
Okay.
Because if you're not aware of anything, how can you accept it?
Mm.
And if you don't accept that that's your current reality, not approve, but accept that's your current reality, how are you ever supposed to take action?
Wow, that's good.
And so I think it's really impressive and important that you've come to this realization this early. Some people go to their 50s, 60s, 70s, and
Yeah.
they never deal with this
Yeah.
stuff. And thank you for sharing that moment about not meeting your dad. I mean, that I'm sure has shown up. So till you were 18,
Yeah, till I was 18.
I'm sure that has shown up in different ways, and in many ways, that could be the superpower.
It is.
So talk to me about that.
100%.
Talk to me about that.
Because when you don't feel good enough, you're always whether it's consciously or subconsciously, you were trying to prove him right, my dad right,
Mm,
that I was good enough. You effed up. You should have been watching over me all those years. That actually is the superpower I don't really talk about. And it's crazy because I thought that there was something wrong with me.
mm,
That's why I was left. But it actually drove me. I'm happy that I've
hmm,
become aware of it because if it drove me forever and then I just grew bitter
mhm,
inside,
mhm.
then that wouldn't have been healthy. Like now I just feel solid now.
Love it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm glad we got there, man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pumped. That's
yeah.
it. See, like, I love podcasts, but this I think is why I like this one in particular, is why I'm doing this one, is because
Yeah.
that moment that you just shared with me, to me, is way more impressive and way more impactful than like, let's talk about ADUs,
A
whatever, which I love.
12,500
Yeah,
square foot lot.
yeah, exactly. Which I think both are helpful, and
Yeah.
we have a big community of people than some might take from others. But
Yeah.
man, that's the stuff. That's the stuff that I really like to.
And it resonates with more people because
That's
there's a lot
right.
of people who don't have fathers or mothers or grew up, without people watching over them or people who have left them and abandoned them.
Mm.
That's a big thing. Depression in society. It's like, it seems like it's at an all-time high, but yeah.
And do you mind if I ask, like, how's that relationship today?
Um, it's good. I mean, it's a great question. I would say it could be better
Okay.
for sure. Could be better. I could be more proactive, but I'm not. I'm very like whatever's right in front of me. I'm doing that,
Mm.
and so sometimes it's true as I've got to know more people. There are a lot of people, yeah, can we do this? Can we do that? Right? I have a lot of different businesses, a lot of different investors, a community. And so sometimes I don't prioritize family as the truth,
Okay.
which is not probably the healthiest thing. So it could be better
Okay.
for sure.
That's very honest of you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everybody could be better,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we're all a work in
Yeah.
progress. I mean, only lately in life have I restored my relationship with my dad. You know,
Yeah.
it was very tumultuous for a very long time.
Hmm.
And now we're like going on trips together.
Let's go.
Took him to Rome.
That's
We went to the
awesome.
Grand Canyon,
Let's go. That's
but it
amazing.
takes work on both sides, and he's
Yeah.
meeting me where I'm at and vice versa. And it could always be better.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
I have not a great relationship with my brother right now, right? And so I feel it's like whack-a-mole, like you'll get the business dialed in, but then these other things suffer. And then that you'll dial in and
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. I'm going up to go visit my family. We run this run every year up in Santa Cruz, wharf to wharf, with my mom and my dad and my brother. My brother just had his firstborn, so really excited to link up with my
Congrats.
family. Yeah.
You're an uncle.
I'm an uncle.
All
2
right.
times now. 3
Let's
times now.
go. Congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
That's awesome, dude. So let's go back, if you don't mind, to the mindset stuff.
Sure.
Somebody that like yourself that's an entrepreneur, you're constantly taking risks. You're constantly pushing outside the comfort zone. How do you deal, especially now that you're not drinking? Because I don't know about you, for me, alcohol wasn't my problem. It was my solution.
Mm.
My problem was my thinking and my attitudes and my perceptions to life, my spiritual malady, all of that, right? So when the alcohol stopped working and I had to stop drinking, I had to find other ways of coping with the fear, the anxiety, the depression. What does that look like for you today? 18 months is a long time to go without that crutch. How do you deal with those things today?
That's a great question. I would say fitness has a huge part to do with this for me because um, I work out a lot and that just makes me feel good, right? I go on walks, surf a little bit, not nearly as much as I'd like to, but it's like instead of spending my time Saturday morning hungover from Friday night, I go to the gym. So I always go Saturday mornings, always. And it's a constant reminder of like how far I've come. Like usually Saturday mornings, sometimes Saturday to like, afternoon, still feeling like slow. And so every Saturday I wake up, I go to the gym, I don't miss, and it's a constant reminder to stay on this path.
Love that.
Yeah.
And then do you couple that with faith?
Yeah, absolutely. Faith, I go to church. I have great community around me. I go to Awaken here in San Diego. It's been really good. I've been going there for a little over a year now.
Okay.
Started at some other churches, Captivate in Point Loma, and the what I like about Awaken is we have like a good community. Like we have men's events, we have co-ed events. Being around other believers is an important thing. And so that's been really good.
I say it often and I borrowed it. Someone else said it to me. Connection is the antidote for depression.
Yeah.
And I find that no matter what your faith is, no matter what your background is, people, at the end of the day, what we're doing here, it's medicine.
Yep.
Because for me, like my concept of a higher power has changed many times throughout the last 2 decades, right? Like I've been sober for over 19 years now.
Wow.
So in that time, I've had to continue to seek. And I've changed the definition of my higher power many times during that time, right? It's been this, it's been that. And what I have found to never fail is this.
Yeah.
It's connection. It's just 2 people having like a real moment. Do you ever see that movie Almost Famous?
No.
There's a great line in it. It was I forget who directed it, but it's an amazing line. And it says, I'm going to butcher it, hopefully. It says that the only currency in this bankrupt world is when 2 people are spending time together, not being cool.
Wow.
And I love that.
That's good.
Because you get to be vulnerable, you get to have the guard down. And so talk to me about that fellowship, what that looks like for you today, because you have your community, you have your Margarita Mingle, you have your online team, now you have Awaken. What does that look like for you?
What's crazy about all this is, bro, I love being by myself.
Isn't that interesting?
I get my energy from like, not even just like scrolling social, but I could just be stretching by myself, on a walk I love being by myself. And so all of a sudden, like I have all these people around me all the time through the Zoom calls. I wake up and I'm like, boom, I got like 20 people in front of me. I go to my office and I have like my property manager there, my contractor there. And so now all of a sudden I have all these people around me, and it's actually, I've had to learn to adapt to that and be okay with people around me all the time.
Yeah. So extroverted introvert.
Yeah.
And it's a muscle.
Yeah, it
And you're
is.
forcing yourself outside the comfort zone.
Very uncomfortable to be around people all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've even like gone to movies by myself every now and then.
Same.
Yeah. Let's
Swear,
go,
within the
dude.
last year.
Yeah.
Last March I did.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Just, and I think there's a difference between loneliness and solitude. I think if you can find a way to be okay in solitude
Hmm.
and not feel lonely, that's a hack.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like you can be anywhere by yourself for half an hour, and you said at a game earlier,
Yeah.
and just chilling.
Just chilling.
And you don't need anything, you don't need anyone, you're sitting in your skin.
Yeah.
And that's a superpower too, man. A lot of people can't do that.
I know.
The constant dopamine on the phone and the
Yep.
constant validation and feedback loop.
Yep.
And I think to your point earlier, I think that's why a lot of us are depressed these days.
Mm.
Do you ever go on like a social media cleanse?
I was doing it on Sundays.
Same.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt right because
Yeah.
like I was like I just start taking care of myself. So I would get my toes. What's it called? Manicure.
Manicure,
I
yeah.
get a manicure. They scrub the feet. It's
Love it.
great. I go
Yeah, yeah.
walk on the beach and just be no phone. And I've done it a few Sundays, not as consistently as I would like to, but yeah.
Dude, that is so funny.
Yeah.
So ask anyone that knows me, even Juan over here, and any Sunday is my sacred day.
Okay.
My phone is off.
Nice.
If I post, it's a scheduled post or a pre-timed post,
Wow.
and I don't check it.
That's good, bro.
So hard.
That's legit.
So hard, dude, because you want to know. You want to know who liked it. You want to know who commented on it, and it's non-negotiable. I've been doing it for about 4 years now.
You're offline on Sunday.
On Sunday. You
Dude.
can't call me. You can't reach me.
That is legit.
Yeah.
I
And
need to try that.
dude, and it used to be completely solo. Now I'll mix in some group stuff.
Mhm.
But there was a couple years, quite literally, where I didn't engage with anybody. And it
Like-
was a hike. It was talking to God. It was getting
Yeah.
on the paddle boards, getting on the waters, whatever it was. And the whole day without human interaction.
Wow, I'm gonna try it this Sunday.
Dude, challenge. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, but yeah.
I-
Saturday night at what was it 11:59, 12 o'clock.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
If I
going
text you
ghost.
Sunday, don't text me back.
I'm going ghost.
Okay. And if you post, I'm going to see who posted it.
Schedule post.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Love that. Well, dude, what a great conversation. I got a couple more for you. I remember one post you did about a 500K loss.
Okay.
Do you feel comfortable talking about
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. Yeah, that loss is what led to so much success. It was that's an alchemy. That's a point right there. That was
Let's
like
go.
that was a very low point for me for a number of reasons. Okay, I just closed $10 million in Pacific Beach across 3 different deals. I'm feeling like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. I had done 30 to 40 deals, 30 deals of single family by San Diego State. That was my bread and butter. Buy a house, add an ADU. And then I was like, all right, I want to jump to the big leagues, move to PB, start buying deals here. Buy 3 in a row, and I'm like on top of the world. I decided to go into escrow on this 4th deal, $18 million deal, one hit. And I'm thinking like, oh, I can figure it out, raise $6 million. Rates shot up multiple times during that time. This is like September 2022, October, November. And I failed to raise the money. I had a guy who was going to lend me the money, this billionaire. No, the billionaire guy backed out, but someone else was going to lend me the money. And I could not close the deal. And so I had 500K earnest money deposit lost. Luckily, few weeks, maybe a month after they closed it, they gave me 250K back. So
Okay.
I actually lost 250,000.
Okay.
But I used 500,000 as the big tagline, like lost 500.
I mean, technically you did.
Yeah, I did.
You happen to get some back.
Yeah,
You still
exactly.
lost 500.
Yeah. And so that was a learning lesson. And I remember that November 15th or 16th in a room just like this at Savina in Little Italy, I pull out the camera and I start talking to this thing because I always knew I wanted to do social media, but I was too insecure, too worried about what I look like and sound like, all the nonsense I was telling myself. And so I started filming content then, and now like I've built the following and all that because of that moment. So that was. But one last thing about that deal is everyone knew I got that deal. Like all the big players knew because a lot of people were going after it. It was a 39 unit in Pacific Beach. There's only 6 assets that big, and so everyone knew. So I felt like this huge failure because not only did I lose money, I didn't close the deal, and I just felt like, damn, this is it. But I used that and I turned it into everything I'm doing now. That was actually the moment. If there's one moment, by the way.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
That's
That's
it.
alchemy if I've ever heard it.
That was it, man. That was a rock bottom. I was like probably depressed, worried, concerned. Oh man, how am I going to bounce back from this? People will never give me money again. Like all the things you can think of. But I just started using social media. and brick by brick, but by using and exposing myself exactly, not exposing, but like by putting out there exactly what happened, that
Mm,
was like the superpower to really grow and just be okay with being a loser. I had lost,
mm.
but long term, I knew I'd win.
And you're still you.
Yeah.
You didn't die.
Nope.
You didn't kill anybody.
Nope.
And I find it so interesting. Like we work on the work and the work works on us.
Yeah.
The outcome, it's important, but it's almost irrelevant compared to the character growth that happens.
Yep.
And somebody told me once that like if you fire a bow and arrow like this, you pull it straight, it goes straight. But if you pull it down, it goes higher. And I have found that it's in the depths, the further down that I go safely, hopefully not too bad,
Yeah.
that the higher we go afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think for entrepreneurs, it's like we have this almost like superpower, and everybody has this, but I think entrepreneurs in particular, to not let it break them. Because so many people quit right before they let go of the arrow.
Yeah.
They quit down here. But if you can hold on, have some faith, keep going, and then don't take it so personally, then you come out the other side of it.
Yep.
And you're able to help more people. So your platform today is much bigger because of that,
Yeah.
right? And it helps me connect to you.
Yep.
Because if this person's perfect, I can't relate to that. I can't identify to that. But I see a person that has failed publicly and then owned it, and without it crushing them, came to the other side. I'm going to be way more likely to want to talk to that person, ask them for advice, ask them for help. So that's awesome, man.
It's the underdog story.
That's it.
That's
Let's
it.
go, dude. Love it. Love it. Well, cool, man. Well, I got a couple more, but that was a really good one. Did you have more to say?
No, that was it.
So we talked about overcoming adversity. We talked about that, but talk to me about fear. We haven't talked about fear much.
Fear.
Yeah. How do you deal with fear today, and what does it look like for you?
Oh man, I got this deal I'm buying right now, and it's scary. It's scary, bro. I'm like, what am I doing? How am I doing this? Well, actually, no. There's two deals. The first one I got, I just closed. I posted that one on social media. Garnett Avenue, very big deal. Like I'm building 10,400 square feet ground up. I'm like, when I got the deal, I was scared. I was like, how would I possibly do this? But as I'm going through it, I just figured it out. It all just kind of came together because it was a good deal, right? I was talking about deal, debt, equity. It was a good deal. Found the debt, raised the equity. Very easy deal. But then I decided to buy something that's, when's this going to air? When's this episode going to air?
Probably in about a month.
Okay, cool. So I can talk about it then.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a deal in escrow twice the size in
Okay.
Pacific Beach. Great location. And it is scaring me because there's just different type of construction, much bigger deal, very scary. And so how I've been dealing with it, believe it or not, I go on YouTube and I throw on some motivational stuff. I throw on some Andrew Tate or something that just snap me out of it.
Yep.
And it's just like, wait, I can do this. Because sometimes I get in this little funk. I start talking to myself, right? The enemy will get to me and be like, no, you shouldn't do that deal. And I just got to realize like, no, that's not the advice I need to be listened to. I need to step through the fear and just knock this thing out of the park like I always do.
Dude, love
That's
that.
what I'm going to do.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's that itty bitty shitty committee.
Yeah.
You know, there's almost like half my brain's telling a story and the
Yeah.
other half is deciding whether or not to listen to it. And I think so many people believe the lie. And it's not even the story, it's what the story means. It goes back to what you said about not being enough. For me, this is my truth, where like I'll think of the worst case scenario, right? I lose the deal, I lose millions of dollars, whatever. That's not what the problem is. The problem is then what does that mean about me? It means that all those things were right. All those negative voices were right.
Yeah.
I'm not enough and I'm never going to be enough. Versus, no, dude, this is just a deal.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. It's not me. You know, so many people attach themselves to their failures and successes, and neither is true.
Yeah.
Like I can't take credit for the good or the bad. I'm just here. I'm just going along for the ride. My higher power is dealing with the outcome. I'm taking the action. I'm doing the footwork. I'm working with people like you, but then like, let it go.
Yeah.
You let the results go. You do the best you can. And then that's it.
That's so good, bro. That's really good. I like that.
You know?
Yep.
Dude, I love this, man. Well, I don't have much more for you, man. We covered a lot. I'll just do some like speed round stuff.
Cool.
Top 5 books.
Top 5 books: Winning, Relentless, 10X by Winning by Tim Grover, Relentless by Tim Grover, 10X by Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed, Be Average by Grant Cardone, and this one might not really resonate with people, but it's a good book, The Art of the Deal by Trump.
Woo! Let's go.
It's a good book.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can separate the message
Yeah.
from the messenger. You know what I mean?
Real estate developer, so he's got some golden nuggets in there.
Love that.
Yeah.
And you've met Grant a couple times.
I have met Grant a few times. I was in his real estate club for a year. I filmed a reality TV episode with him.
What was that?
The Real Estate King.
No.
Yeah, it was called The Real Estate King. It should be done. I don't know when it's going to come online.
Okay.
It's been a couple of years now. I think he's packaging it together and going to sell it to like Apple or Netflix or something. Grant's a great guy. Huge part of my success actually is around 2017. I start consuming a lot of his content.
Okay.
And I really resonated with the fact that he stopped drinking in his 20s.
That's
And
right.
so when I heard that, and I was like, wait, you did that there, and 30 years later,
Right.
you have this, the family, the jet, the real estate, the dream life, the influence. I'm like, wait, okay, I should probably make note of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And like, I'm always the kind of guy where like, if it works for you, do it.
Yep.
I'm the last person to proselytize or evangelize against alcohol. However, the science is pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
And the evidence is pretty clear. The data is pretty clear,
Yeah.
right? It's basically normalized poison is what it is,
Yeah.
right? And I think that if it's not a problem for you, fine. But even if it's not a problem for you, you still never really get continuity because you're still altering your state every now and then.
Yeah.
And if you don't have massive periods of your life where you have utter clarity and continuity, you don't get to reflect. Your brain doesn't get a chance to make new neural nets. You don't get to feel the feelings, right? If you're constantly numbing, you're never going to get the experience of feeling that feeling. And then you don't get to pull from that in the future. It's like we talked about with the bow and arrow. If you're constantly numbing yourself, well, how are you ever going to tap into that when you have to go through a hard time again?
Yeah.
Right? You're tapping into that negative 500K all the time today,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's renewable.
Yep.
You get to constantly go back there.
Yep.
But if you're constantly medicating, you don't really get to do that.
Yeah.
So that would be all I would say. Again, I'm not like telling people not to drink, but I do think there's a lot of value in having longer term abstinence from mind altering substances, just from a personal growth and development standpoint.
Yeah, for sure.
I think everybody should try it.
100%. Try it for a month.
Try it for a month. Yeah. And then like if you gotta go back, whatever. But yeah, exactly. Like we have this expression, it's like try it for 90 days. And if you don't like it, I'll refund your misery. We say it all the time. Like
that's good.
I'll give it right back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was 5 books. Top 5 fitness tips.
Top 5 fitness tips. Stay consistent. I know it's basic, but if you show up every day, even the days you don't feel like it, you're going to get jacked. You're going to lose weight. You're going to achieve your goals. So stay consistent. Get a trainer. Get a trainer to push you. I don't have one, but I'm like, well, I want to work on my legs. I need like a glutes trainer to really get my legs more solid. So get a trainer. Go to a gym that you actually like and that you're inspired by. There's 2 gyms I go to. Like one is Pacific Beach 24-hour fitness, which is just like ran down, but it's like my convenient gym. I just like walk there and it's fast. And then there's Fit. It's like a whole experience, right? Obviously I want to go to Fit. So get in the gym you want to be in. And then I would say try and go around the same time so that it's just part of your routine.
Love
Is that 4? I think that was 4. Yeah,
bonus one. Yeah.
Let's go with the 5th one. The 5th one is get a fresh fit. Get a fresh fit. Get some nice shoes. If you look good, you're gonna feel good. So get a fresh gym fit. I think it's important.
There's some truth to that for sure.
Yeah.
Last couple quick ones. What advice would you give your younger self?
What advice would I give my younger self? Me personally, I would have quit drinking alcohol sooner.
Love that.
Yeah. So that was for sure one. And then another one would be like be competitive and like to win and like to like better yourself, but don't tie the losses to like your identity.
Let's go.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever said that. Like that just kind of flowed. That's from God on that.
So true. Thank you for that. Yeah, right on. Well, dude, we're wrapping up. Real quick, how can people work with you? Where can they reach you? Where can they find you?
Cool. No, I appreciate that. Instagram, chrisj.luna. Chris J, like the letter J dot Luna. I'm everywhere. If you Google my name, chrisj.luna. YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Most active on Instagram. My podcast is called On the Come Up Podcast. That's on Spotify, YouTube, and I guess Apple Podcast, and backyardcommunity.com, where I teach people how to develop ADUs And what we're building over there is really special, and we're democratizing multifamily development and the ADU space here in San Diego. And we have members in Northern California, probably expanding to other cities in 2025.
Love that.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks so much for coming.
Dude, thanks for having me on the show, man. It's really cool to see what you're doing here. My advice to you is stay consistent with the podcast. Try not to miss. Keep posting on a nice, consistent schedule, and you'll for sure gain influence and help a lot of people. The main thing.
Here, here.
Appreciate it, man.
Getting in the reps.
Let's go.
Alrighty.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. See you next time.
Peace.